Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Banana Island Living Podcasts. My name is Sade, and a few weeks ago, we talked to some foreigners and one returnee Nigerian coming to live in Lagos. And I got a lot of feedback saying, what about those who are living abroad? What about Nigerians living abroad? So next season, we're really going to go into that. But today, as a taster, I've got two Nigerians living in the diaspora, roughly the same age. And would you know, until today, they didn't really know they were related. It just goes to show. So today I've got Aisha. Aisha, you're going to say hello?
Hello, everyone. I'm Aisha.
Okay. And I've got Shei.
Hello, everyone.
Right. I'll tell you a little bit of their backstory, like I always do. Aisha, she's a senior category manager and she's in charge of payroll management. She's actually even got a law degree, like all Nigerian children. They always have like 2 degrees. So she's a BSc sociology and she's got a graduate diploma in law from the University of Essex. And Shei too has several degrees and he got a Bachelor of Arts in Urban Planning and then Masters of Urban and Regional Planning and then another Masters in Civil Engineering from the University of California, Irvine. So yeah, they're true Nigerians in diaspora. It was really interesting talking to Shei and Aisha before the recording started and their different experiences living in the UK and living in California. So, Aisha, have you been to Nigeria before?
Yes, I have. It's been a while though. The last time I went was 2018. Actually went for my cousin's wedding. I did really want to go last year, December, but obviously given the situation, it wasn't possible at all. So,
and before that, how often do you go? Do you go like every year or every other year? Or?
So before that, which was really bad, it had been, I think the last time I went was 5 years ago. But when I was a lot younger, I used to go every Christmas. So me and my brother, we would go with my mom and my dad and we'll spend Christmas there. And yeah, I really loved it. But I did go one year when I was, I think I was about 20 or 19, something like that. And I remember it just had changed so much for me. Like the difference for being a kid to being a teenager there. It was just such a dramatic change and there was so much development. I remember just thinking, oh my God. But I didn't enjoy it then. But when I went in 2018, I think because I was a lot older and I went for my cousin's wedding. So I was with a lot of my cousins, you know, we were a lot older. I just enjoyed it a lot more, like sightseeing, going out and just experiencing everything. And fantastic. I just felt like Nigeria had changed a lot, like
for the better or for the worse?
Oh no, for the better, yeah. Because I remember I just remember when I was younger and not being able to go out at night. People were really scared. Okay. And I remember one time we went. My mum kind of booked a flight where we arrived at really early in the morning. I think it was like 3 in the morning. Yeah. And we had to wait until like 6 a.m. to be picked up.
Before you could leave the airport.
Yeah, because no one wanted to risk like driving that late at night. Yeah. But last time I went, it was really good. We went out at night. Yeah.
And Shei, have you been to Nigeria? And how many times have you been there?
I have been to Nigeria. I want to say been there 4 times. My first time I was 7 years old. And so that was a short stay. My longest stay there, I lived there for a year.
Wow.
When I was around 10, 11. Went to school there and everything. Most recently was 5 years ago. After I graduated, I went back to visit family. So I've been able to experience Nigeria quite a bit.
Do you engage with Nigerian news much?
Nigerian news, I feel like I mostly hear it through family members. I don't specifically...
You don't listen to any channels or whatever that would give you Nigerian news?
Not too much. Although, looking at the world news once in a while, Nigeria pops up, but I do ask about it, from family members. If I'm calling back home, I just ask what's going on, and they give me the update of what's going on, especially during the pandemic with the protests going on with the students and the young people.
Oh, right, the NSARS.
I was following that, and I, looking up what was going on with that. So that was really interesting to find out the situation that was going on and seeing what was going on in the U.S. at the same time as well.
And Aisha, did you engage with the NSARS, or did you hear about it, and what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I did hear a lot about it, just through social media. I do have not a lot, but I do have a few friends in Nigeria, so they were posting quite a lot about it. I know one friend in particular was there, because he's a videographer, so he was videoing a lot of what was going on, and yeah, just through social media and people just posting about it. It was quite sad, but I didn't really understand.
You felt a little bit removed from it. It wasn't immediate for you. You weren't that engaged with it, were you?
I would say I wasn't too engaged, because I didn't really, I understood what was going on, but I kind of, I just didn't post too much about it. I was kind of like posting like to end what was going on. But I wasn't
just NSARS,
NSARS.
Just NSARS, Sha.
Yeah. But at the same time, like I didn't know too much about it to voice too much of a opinion. And I didn't want to.
So you played safe.
Yeah, I really did play safe, because I was, I had some aunties, that were kind of supporting the government. So I was getting like, they were saying, like one of my aunties online on Facebook was like saying, not supporting it, but she was just kind of voicing her opinion and understanding why it was necessary.
A different perspective, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I'm not really going to comment too much, because I obviously don't understand really what's going on.
Just NSARS, Sha. Just NSARS.
Just end it.
Just end it. Yeah. I don't care what it is.
Exactly.
Yes. So, I mean, it's interesting how, you feel invested, but not that invested, and you feel sort of conflicted. And where do you stand? Like the current political situation, do you know what's going on in the politics at home, Shay? Do you know much about the politics? Do you even know the parties involved?
So I mean, I wouldn't necessarily want to explain it to someone if they asked me to explain. I know the general idea of what's going on as far as the economic situation, especially for young people, and that's the main idea I have. As far as the specifics with politics, I couldn't tell you too much.
Okay. Because back in Nigeria, people say the diaspora should have a vote. And then the government is sort of dragging its feet on that. And it would be interesting to see, even if there was a vote, whether your generation, because you're roughly the same age, would engage with the process and know enough to make choices. Having said that, do you consider yourself, Aisha, do you consider yourself British? And Shayi, do you consider yourself American?
I consider myself both. I would, when people ask me here, where are you from? I always say Nigeria.
Okay.
The only time I really categorize myself as British is filling out forms online when.
Yes.
But I know I am British.
Yes.
But when people ask me, like, where are you from? I'll say, I'm Nigerian, born and raised in Britain.
In the UK.
Yeah, in the UK. Yeah.
Okay. And Shayi, how do you see yourself? How do you call yourself? It's one thing, how do you see yourself, but also how do you describe yourself? Or like Aisha said, when they ask you, what do you say? Yeah,
I'm pretty similar to Aisha. When people ask me, I would say I'm Nigerian, and I just leave it at that. And then if I'm asked to write it down, I'll say Nigerian American.
Okay, you don't say African American, you say Nigerian American.
If there's an option for me to put Nigerian American, I'll put Nigerian American.
But this is interesting because both of you were born and bred in those countries, but and you've barely been to Nigeria. Really, you can count on one hand the number of times you've been in Nigeria. But you do see yourself primarily as Nigerians.
Yeah, I do. I feel quite really connected to it. I think it's to do with my parents as well, and friends and family. I think maybe that's the influence I have, and the connection I have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get on to this. What about friendship groups? Are they mainly relatives, Nigerians, or do you have English, and by English, I mean English, native English people, or other immigrants? And do you have like mainly American friends, or are they mainly Nigerians or other?
Yeah, I think this goes back to what I call myself, because my friend group and where I am, there's a lot of immigrants. So normally when people ask you, what are you, or what do you consider yourself? Normally it's, where were your parents born?
Right.
So most of my friends, they're first generation.
Right.
Or second generation at most. A lot of them are from African countries, a lot of Nigerians, Asian, Mexican, South American. So it's a good mix.
Yeah.
As far as my friend group, and I would say it's as far as Nigerians. Most of the Nigerians that I've met have been through school,
right?
And I would say that at least at UC Irvine, there's not too many. So in order to get together and to meet a lot, you have to go to like Nigerian events, specific Nigerian events.
Okay, and Aisha, the same for you?
Yeah, I'll say it's really similar to Shayi. Like the majority of my friends are migrants, like Turkish Cypriot, Nigerians, Asian, Caribbeans. So that's why, like what Shayi said, normally people ask you where you're from. You do give like your nationality, like where your parents, the ethnicity where your parents are from. I do have a few Nigerian friends, but it is again similar to Shayi, which is weird. It has been from school. A lot of the Nigerian friends, and actually I've met quite a few from work. So I think it was like that the early stages of work, just coming out of university when I just had a part-time job. But then when I went into more of like my career, I was more around English, I would say white people.
Right.
So, but a lot of my friends now are friends that I've known for, like a lot of my Nigerian friends are friends that I've known for years. So it's been like coming up to 10 years or above, so since school and like the early stages of my work.
Okay. Now, this is the bit that I am particularly interested in, because I have this friend and her dream is to set up a dating agency for Nigerians in diaspora. So I'd like to hear the perspective of, first of all, the bloke, she. Is it easier to date people, like somebody your parents will be happy with? Is it easy to find somebody to date as a bloke? And Aisha, I know you're settled now, but when you were growing up, did you was it harder for black females to, because you read a lot about that in social media. Is it more difficult for women? So Shayi, you go first.
Yeah. As far as my parents, they don't really have a specific preference. I would say my mom, if it's Nigerian woman, then that would be good. If it's not, then that's good.
But did you find it easy? Did you find it easy to find these kinds of people?
If I wanted to find a Nigerian woman that was looking to date a Nigerian woman, I would have to
marry.
or to marry.
Marriage material.
I would have to specifically say, okay, I'm going to go to Nigerian events so I can meet Nigerians. Otherwise, I wouldn't run into them. Or I'd have to specifically talk to friends and say, hey, do you know any, Nigerian women that are interested? I feel like I would have to go definitely seek them as compared to if I was going to date like another another
Nationality.
person. Yeah,
But you don't find it
nationality.
hard to date, generally, Nigerian or non-Nigerian,
Hard to date.
to find people to date? Because, I mean, you hear of
Yeah.
Black girls finding it more difficult to find dates.
What? No, it's. I mean, I wouldn't consider it hard to date. No.
No. You just, unless when you're choosy, then it's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Aisha, let me hear your perspective.
Like touching on like what you said about African girls finding it difficult to date.
Yeah.
I'll definitely say there was a point maybe when I noticed it. I think because I grew up in quite a predominantly white area, so the school I went to was predominantly like English and white. So I was genuinely, I feel like I was more attracted to that
Right.
during my early teens, late teens. So I didn't genuinely feel like it was, I did feel like it was hard to date and find someone because of the area I was in.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the African men, Afro-Caribbean men were going for, white
girls.
women. And,
yes.
What I was attracted to was also like, because it's like predominantly like so it was kind of hard at the time.
So you were looking for white blokes too?
I would say I wouldn't say I was particularly looking. I was quite open. I would like, when I used to go out with my friends, you would meet people, you would meet guys and everything, but nothing really serious came from it. When I was like a lot younger, I think when I became, when I started university, and I think I changed my kind of group and like the area I was like, going. I think also when I was younger, I wasn't staying. I started moving out of the area, so I was going more towards South London, where it's predominantly mixed. Because me and my best friend, she's like half Asian, half Caribbean, so we would go to like South London, and that's when we started to meet a lot more people that were similar to us in ethnicity.
Right. So your perceptions of dateability changed a little bit more.
Yeah, so I started to feel a bit more confident knowing. So I never really, there was a point where I didn't really feel this whole thing about, Black men don't like Black women, or they don't go for Black women.
Right.
And also I met my partner quite young. We were friends and then we ended up getting a lot closer. So I didn't really have that kind of negativity. I think when the way I started feeling that was through social media. And I think meeting up with my Turkish friends, like we're really close now, and going out with them, that's when I started to realize also that Black men do tend to go for them a lot more. But I realized it was at a certain age. I think I've noticed that when Black African men, Afro-Caribbean men, when they get to a certain age, maybe their late 20s or 30s, they're trying to, I think that's when they then are like, okay, I want to settle down. So I'll probably go for someone that's more similar to me. Yeah, that's it.
Does that hold true for you?
But Aisha, you said that you found that when they're younger, they tend to go for what type of woman?
More
light-skinned, white.
I'll say light-skinned white. Yeah, I mean, people say I'm light-skinned, but I wouldn't. I don't really look at my skin color and think this is me, but I would say they would go for more white girls. I did notice there was more like I would just hear really like weird things, and it would just, because I wasn't used to it, I'd be like, what am I hearing? Like, and then I started to realize that what I was hearing on social media was kind of true. Yeah, it is difficult. They are liking.
I would say that, as a guy, as you get older, more towards 30, that you become generally more serious about marriage. And in that case, you're more likely to go for someone you're looking for to marry. So African, you're more likely to go for an African woman in that case.
Would that be more because of your values and what your family values are, and somebody who would integrate better with your family? Is that what you're...
Right. So
thinking that way.
Yeah. In my case, it's about culture. It's about values. What am I going to pass down to my kids? What is, marriage life going to be like? And I know what to expect from African women.
You know what to expect because you know your mom.
I completely agree with that because I feel like when I met my partner, he was at that stage as well.
Yeah.
He was like, ready to settle down, and he was in his late 20s. So
had he done the white thing before?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say, yeah, he did. I mean, he's not going to be honest about it. But yeah, he definitely did.
So that was a rite of passage.
Yeah, but I think with him, and I'm talking on his behalf, but I think with him, he doesn't. I think he was just having fun. He wasn't really picking white because it was popular.
It was where he was, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just where he was and who he found easier to approach and who gave him the time of day, kind of.
Because I must say, they say African girls are hard to date. You have to work.
This is what I heard. Yeah, this is what I started, speaking to like Afro-Caribbean men. Yeah, this is the thing, So I do feel sorry. I mean, after speaking to a lot of Afro-Caribbean men, I do see it. And I see like some of my African friends when they are like Afro-Caribbean friends, when they are being approached, I do see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to be like that when I was younger. And then I think when I got to my early 20s, I just thought, you know what, it's not nice. I mean, they're just paying you a compliment at the end of the day. And
well, I'll tell you, if you haven't seen it yet, go on TikTok. There's this video, well, lots of videos of people copying this single and searching. Single and you're searching, you want to mingle or something like that.
I think I've seen that. Yeah.
Where the man is coming. Excuse me, you want to talk? And say, what is it?
Walking, yeah.
And then when the guy says, "Don't worry," he said, "Come now, come now."
Yeah.
So all the shakara don't finish. Oh gosh. And okay,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not a cliche, it's true. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a little bit more serious. Have you experienced any racism? Growing up, presently, at work or whatever?
Oh yes. I have like a few. I mean,
right. Would that be at school or at work or where? In what context?
At work. I mean, at work, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just been some incidences, but I think I'll just concentrate more on like the ones that were directed at Black women.
Right.
I remember, like I said, after I just graduated school, I had like a part-time job at Currys and Dixon. So it was just sales basically.
Yeah.
And there was a girl there. I wasn't in this conversation, but two of my friends were involved in the conversation. Two of my friends, like I said, one was Asian, half Caribbean, and the other one was Caribbean. And there was a girl there who was, she was white. I think she was Greek. And she made a comment saying how she thinks Black women look like apes. And she said this, I mean, I don't know why she felt so comfortable. Like I said, I wasn't in the conversation. I wasn't in that day, but she said it, and obviously my friend told me, and it kind of went around this, and it just ended up being like an issue in the workplace, and she ended up getting fired. But I think what annoyed me the most about that issue was obviously what she said, but the managers at the workplace were kind of more concentrating on the fact that we told people. Gosh, they weren't really, so they were kind of asking
how it reflected on them rather than the fact that how you felt. Okay, but you didn't actually feel it. You didn't actually experience it directly. It was to people that you knew in the workplace.
Well, she was talking about. She wasn't talking about people in the work. She was talking about some Black women in general. She was So she had made that comment, and I just felt. I remember when my friend told me, I just kind of. I was so shocked that people still.
Well, I'm sorry about that because
it was really obviously like I said,
shocking, I suppose, because you've been through school and you didn't experience it at school at all.
No, I didn't really. I mean, at school, I remember another girl. She was like Irish. She made a comment about Asians, and I don't want to use but she used the P word. She said, "Oh, there are too many P words in this school." And
Gosh.
I
Okay.
just, but I was there in that conversation. So
Yeah.
I just, as soon as she said it, I was like, you're really racist. I got up and left. And
Okay.
that again became, we know with girls, we gossip. So it became a big thing.
Yes.
So yeah, again, yeah.
And Shayi, what has it been like? Because we hear a lot about black male children in the US, and how much of an issue. Because you live in a pretty plush area, do you feel you've been insulated a bit because of your social economic?
I feel like I have been. However, I have had experiences where of racism. I would say
Directly or
directly.
gosh,
Um,
Yeah.
school or
well,
at work?
the first time I remember was elementary school and
Gosh,
also high school. There's so besides that, when I was older, all the other cases of racism have been through police.
Oh,
you're
So
joking. You've actually
okay. So,
experienced police?
yeah, what was it? I was in college. I think it was my senior year. I was with my girlfriend at the time, and we're just walking along outside on the street next to her apartment, and a policeman pulled over and asked for my ID, and we're just walking, walking, holding hands, and then
Yeah.
asking where I was coming from, asking for my ID, and uh, so there's been that case. There's also a case in the U.S. They do random stops sometimes to see,
Yeah. So you've been
some
stopped and
sobriety
searched?
tests. Not well. I have been on the road. As far as in my car, I haven't been
Good
searched,
Lord.
but I've been stopped. And
So
then
racial profiling, really?
yeah, yeah,
Gosh.
yeah,
And
yeah.
how does that affect, how do you think you are in terms of confidence? Because there's one thing I have noticed about Nigerian children,
Hmm.
and I may be biased, is their confidence level is high. It takes a lot to. Do you think these incidences have affected you? Are you able to be your whole self? Are you able to laugh loudly if you wanted to, or get cross in situations because you feel like it? I mean, there is good manners if you're somewhere inappropriate, but do you feel you're able to be your whole self in your setting, wherever you are, your authentic self?
Yeah, I
Or
do
do you
feel
feel you're
like
putting on a front?
um I feel like I can be myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's good.
It depends. It depends what environment I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely find myself adjusting how I act and what I say depending on because
The,
people do judge.
yeah.
Um, Especially, I mean, I am conscious that I am a black man and I'm
Mm.
like and I'm tall, so and I'm dark skinned, so people, as I would say, perceive me a certain way. Normally,
Mm.
I would say that's more in if I was in like a wider neighborhood as
Yeah.
opposed to if I was in a more diverse neighborhood. I definitely notice like if I'm walking to a store, people will look as opposed to if I go to a place that's more with more black people or that's more
Yeah.
diverse. I don't get as
Do you,
many
so do you,
looks or
so do you
stares.
have to diminish yourself, or sort of like someone said, Obama has to sort of tread gently first until
Yeah.
they know him?
Yeah.
You spend the first few minutes.
When I mean something, yeah, yeah. I'm
Gosh.
just very aware. I'm just aware. I would say I'm just very aware.
Right.
Especially the older I get, I definitely notice it more and more. I would
Yeah.
Mm.
say you don't really notice it until you're in a place with more black people, like at least
Right.
half, at
You
least like
suddenly
a
find that,
quarter.
oh, I'm breathing easier here.
Exactly, exactly. Especially the last time I went to Nigeria,
Yeah.
I just said, "Wow, this is a complete." I mean, I'd been to Nigeria before, but this is the first time I went as an adult, and I just
Yeah.
said, "Wow,
The
everyone
freedom.
around me, you know, looks like me. I don't have to think about all these things I didn't even know were in the back of my mind just suddenly
Gosh,
disappear.
you didn't
So
know you had
it is
baggage.
freeing. Right. So it is freeing. Yeah, it's freeing in a sense. And so that is something that, as a Black male that you experience.
Gosh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. Now, knowing what you know, and luckily both of you have been to Nigeria before, would you send your children to spend some time in Nigeria? Because the chances are you're not going to marry a Nigerian, or maybe you're going to live abroad forever. Is it something you would like to do, to have your children spend time there? Or like every generation, you're one less removed. I'm sure neither of you speak your native languages. By the next generation, God knows if you'll ever remember Nigeria. But would you make a conscious effort to maybe send your children out, or to get
Yeah, I
them to?
definitely will. I want my children to visit Nigeria as much as possible. I was speaking to you, Auntie, and I said I would love for my daughter to
go to Nigeria, to go to school for a bit. Yeah,
just for a little bit, because I think it will help her confidence. Knowing who she is, because I feel like sometimes I felt that way. When you're being in England, being in Britain, you can lose your confidence. You can become quite insecure in yourself, not thinking you're good enough because of the racism. It's very covert, but it's there. You might start to feel, you're not, you have to try 10 times harder. Or you might not feel like you're as attractive or as appreciated. So I would want her to feel like, that's not what it's like around the world. And just like her value is still there.
Well, to know her worth.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Sheyi, and you?
Yeah, I definitely would want my children to live in Nigeria for a certain amount of time. I think just seeing the difference in cultures, I think it builds character, confidence, humility, and just being able to, just be appreciative of, your culture and, the differences. I definitely think it's needed, and not just Nigeria, just be able to travel to other countries just to see, how other people live.
Exactly. Yeah. I think travel is very important.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is a bit I like. What music are you listening to? What Nigerian music are you listening to?
Yeah, I do love my Afro beats. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah,
so what's your current favorite?
Wizkid Davido, Burna Boy. I love him. I've always loved him. I know he's blown up over the last couple of years.
Burna Boy,
I was listening to him before.
Okay, before people like us discovered Burna.
Yeah, because to be fair, they were playing him in the clubs in this country. Yeah, like the song.
So which one of his songs was popular
Tonight, and there's another song that they used to play a lot in the.
The only one I know is Yeah, Yeah, Yeah. I mean, how can this whole song be about yeah? Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the song that I think made him blow up. But I know there was Tonight, and there's another song that they used to play a lot in the clubs. But like I said, that's why in the UK they were playing quite a bit of Afrobeats, like 7 years ago when I started going like clubbing quite a lot. So yeah.
And Sheyi, I mean, you're in California. Do they ever play Afrobeats? And what Nigerian songs do you listen to?
They started to, I would say,
in California
2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Gosh, which one is most popular there now?
Yeah, Wizkid. Well, right now, I don't know about right now because I don't really listen to the radio as much. But as far as what a recent one I've been listening to was Burna Boy featuring I want to say Ty Dolla $ign or one of those.
Okay,
yeah.
And so I listened to that, and there's an artist called Wise Kid.
Wizkid.
No, not this one is Wise Kid.
Oh, there's another. Oh, there's a fake. There's a poor man's Wizkid.
Wise Kid, yeah. Wise
There's a poor man's Wizkid. If you can't afford Wizkid, go for Wise Kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been listening to that.
Okay, now, do you watch Nigerian movies, Nollywood? I must confess, I don't. I haven't seen
No, I
any.
don't. When I was younger, I used to watch because my auntie would put it on all the time. But no, I
But now
don't
you've
that
outgrown
much.
it.
No, yeah, I don't that much anymore.
Shay, do you watch any?
No, I don't.
Okay, this is interesting. So Sunday morning, church or chill?
Recently it's been more chilling. Yeah, yeah, chilling.
Shay, church or chill?
It's a mix, but similar to what Aisha said.
You don't want to own up because your mom's probably listening.
Yeah, you know.
So it's chill unless your mom is around, and then it's church.
Yeah, church.
Okay, and could you describe yourself in 3 words, Aisha? Describe yourself in 3 words.
Yeah, I'll say I'm like quirky, open-minded, and so what's another word? Quirky, open-minded, and yeah, funny. I'll say, yeah, quirky, open-minded, and funny.
Funny, haha, or funny, peculiar. Funny, haha, or funny, peculiar.
I'll say a mix of both. Haha, peculiar.
You're funny, haha. You're funny,
Yeah.
peculiar. Okay,
Yeah.
Shay, what about you? Describe yourself in 3 words.
3 words: outgoing.
Okay.
I would say ambitious.
Okay.
And intelligent.
Well, you're that's why I like Americans. They don't do modesty. they just go
I do. I was going to say, should I say I'm intelligent or should I not?
I don't see why you shouldn't. Frankly, I know somebody who went for a job, and he was the only applicant for the job, and he still didn't get it. And the feedback was he didn't sell himself enough. He was doing this self-deprecating British thing where you don't say you don't put out your qualities because you think you'll be like boasting. And that's why I like Americans.
It's a typical British thing.
It's a British thing, yeah. It's in bad taste to, you need to put yourself down a tiny bit. And we all do it. Because
if I was to say, when you're around friends, if you were to like kind of big yourself up a bit, people would be like, okay, no, then they'll stop being joking about it, you know.
Yeah, they just move on. So she's a bit up herself, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Shay, tell me your joke. I hope you got this ready because I warned you. So it's not a surprise. Tell me a joke.
Okay, I've been thinking about it, and I know if I attempt this, is probably not going to go well. So
that's all right. Shay, Aisha, are we going to laugh or not? Whether it's funny or not?
I would laugh. I mean,
you would laugh. You're that kind. Okay, let's go for it. Okay, Shay, we're ready. We're poised.
Oh, I really don't have one for you right now. I really don't have.
You can plagiarize one. You can nick one.
Can I do the comedian? My favorite comedian?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you tell us who do you like most? Which comedian do you like most?
So I would say my top is Dave Chappelle. Definitely.
Yes. Why do you like Dave Chappelle? Because I find him a bit edgy.
Mm-hmm.
A bit too edgy for somebody like me, I think.
Yeah, I started watching him. He was very influential as far as his comedy skits when he first came out, became popular, and he talked about social and political issues.
Yeah,
in a funny way that a lot of other comedians are not able to do, and he's able to be serious but funny at the same time, and I like his delivery.
Well, he's certainly not PC. I heard that Korean joke and I was squirming. I laughed and I felt embarrassed for laughing, and I was ashamed of myself for laughing, but I couldn't help laughing. And I thought, this is not very nice. And Aisha, what about you? Are you going to tell us a joke, or are you going to cop out?
I'll say like a little dad joke, which will be very bad.
Okay, yes, this is going to be good. We're going to laugh. So you're sure of an audience.
I'm telling the audience it's not going to be great, but it's a joke.
Yes.
What is hairy and brown and goes up and down?
Hairy and brown and goes up and down. You got me there. Shay, any ideas? A squirrel?
No, it's a kiwi in an elevator.
Oh, Oh, goodness me.
No, bad.
That is really awful.
I did warn you guys. I had to think of something on the spot. I'm not really a joke teller.
No, but it's so bad. It's funny. So yeah.
But that's the thing with dad jokes. They are just really bad. But you're just like,
at
oh my
least
God.
we laughed. Okay, fantastic. Now, before we go, Aisha's doing this amazing project. She's doing lashes, and they are unbelievable. So she's going to give you her social media handle, and you just check out her Instagram page. She's going to be a mogul one day, so you'll thank me later
God
for
willing.
introducing you. Yes, like a good African girl, she say, God willing.
In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name, from your mouth to the ears of God.
Amen.
Yes. So Aisha, tell us your social media handles and how people can get in touch with you.
So it's Bosse Beauty _lashes. So that's BOSE BEAUTY _LASHES. And I sell strip lashes. And my website should be launching really soon. So I'm just hoping before mid-June. My
and
website
you do
should be
distribution. You're looking for people to distribute. They need to train and then distribute. Yeah.
Yes, I would be. I would be doing wholesale. So anyone that would want to buy from me to sell on, that would be great. I mean, I'm a trained lash technician as well, but with the whole COVID situation, I decided to move more to like an online retailer, just because online is where the best place to make money now. But absolutely. And I have 13 different styles of lashes, so it accommodates to everyone. And they are like they're vegan friendly.
You're
a
real Nigerian. Forget all that English thing. She's got a job. She's got a side hustle. She's got the degrees, and she knows how to market.
They range from like glam looks to natural looks as well.
So come quick. She'll do you a deal, and you tell us how to get hold of you.
The best place to reach me is Facebook Messenger. So my handle is Shei.Anozie, ANOZIE.
Okay.
And if you don't have a Facebook, because I know some people don't use that, you can reach me on Instagram, and it's Shei in Focus. So Shei INFOCUS.
OUS. Okay, excellent. Well, thank you guys. I mean, I've had an amazing time. But before everybody goes off thinking what fantastic children or ambassadors of Nigeria, everybody go and subscribe, share our podcast, and give us an amazing rating. And then we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.